Hi everybody, Ryan from Pi Records here. I'm with Oldie Hawn. How you guys doing?
Doing awesome.
Still breathing.
So I hope you guys are all doing safe and are being safe and doing well. Um, it looks like you're socially distancing, which is a good thing, and I appreciate your time. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell me what instruments you play?
I'm Kai. I play guitar and I do my best to sing.
I'm Steven. I play guitar and sing backups.
I'm Roger and I play bass and backups.
Roger does the high backups. My name's Skylar. I just play drums and try not to sing.
So what I find is very interesting about your group, that is different than the other pop punk bands that are around right now, is the quote unquote Ramones core type thing. Very reminiscent of the Riverdales to me, and I don't know if that was something that you guys are conscious of, or just kind of how it comes out for you. Who'd like to speak to that?
I would say for me, as far as writing songs, it's definitely not something that I necessarily do consciously to like emulate it, but I've listened to so much of that sort of Riverdale, Screeching Weasel. I mean, that's what like high school me was like trying. That's how I learned how to play like punk music. So like I think no matter what I try to play, that's always going to be somehow part of it.
Awesome.
Agreed.
So tell us a little bit about the songwriting process. There's four guys in the band. It's always interesting to me to find out how songs come together and the collaboration. Every band is different. So why don't you let me hear about how you guys collaborate?
Skylar, you want to do this one?
Well, first off, I want to say most of the songs, I mean, we all write, but I say most of the songs, Kai comes to us with a kind of a rough outline, and then we kind of hammer it out and go from there. I mean, we've all written songs, so that's something that's kind of cool. But I'd say probably 60% of the songs 60 to 70 come from Kai, and then me, Steven, and Roger have written a couple. But that's generally how it is. We kind of will do a demo by ourselves, show it to the guys, and kind of go from there. So
Cool.
And even with mine, like I always have gaps in the songs that everybody contributes something that really a lot of times changes the song completely. So it's definitely like a collaborative sort of effort for sure. I think it's becoming, even like the longer we've been a band, I feel like it's becoming more and more collaborative. Like we're doing live demos right now, and we just sit there and listen to them and pass the guitar around, figure out parts and see what we want to do. I think it's worked out really, really well.
So you guys are from Corpus Christi, Texas, and I'm noticing that Noah from Otitis is really tapped into that scene. What can you tell me about the scene down there?
Well, I just want to say, first off, Noah is like my childhood hero. Like he was in like Slugbug and like Right Turn Clyde, all these different bands. Like when I was a kid, just going to see them at different places around town. It's so cool, like to get to know him like as I've gotten older, and then just for him to like help us put out music. It's really phenomenal. That I just want to say that, and if anybody wants to talk on that, please go ahead.
I mean, I think Noah for sure has done a lot for the scene here, and being able to like take bands like us that probably, would have taken us at least a lot longer to put out a record if it wasn't for Noah. And so, but yeah, Corpus has always had, I mean, it's definitely a fluctuating scene. There's definitely kind of ebbs and flows. But there's usually a pretty good number of bands here. Kind of in the metal sort of genre as well. But like Denim Hairs, a lot of kind of like more kind of indie punk sort of stuff that, yeah, I feel like it's becoming more diverse. At least I hope it's becoming more diverse here. But a lot of really good heavy stuff too. It's definitely prominent in
Yeah,
Corpus.
definite lots of metal.
Yeah, I just heard Denim Hairs for the first time, and I thought they were pretty rad. A lot of melody, and I really dug them. So tell me about what you had done outside of being with Otitis. I know you have quite a few releases. What are some of the I want to say different avenues you've explored?
Well, our when we first got together, just to listen to what these songs were going to sound like, we did a 4-song demo that we felt like, hey, we should show people this. So we put it up for free on Bandcamp, and I think that's how kind of Noah started to kind of get involved as well. But we've done a couple compilation songs. We did one for Something to Do Records. They have a song that we did. It's probably one of the more recent songs I think we recorded called "Staying Up." We've done that, and yeah, I'm trying to think of. I know we've worked with other people. I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, definitely Something to Do Records. We've actually the latest 7-inch we did. Travis from Eccentric Pop Records did the artwork on that for us. I've always been a huge fan of Eccentric Pop Records. I thought that was really cool of him to do. But it's been really cool, yeah. And like I feel like there's this kind of community through these different record labels and different bands across the country, really. Across the world. I mean, we've had some contact with Italian and Japanese bands and things like that. So yeah, it's just been fun.
Awesome. Steven, I'd like to ask you maybe have you guys been working on anything during quarantine, writing, recording, something we can look out for?
Oh yeah, we've been working on a full-length album. Right now we've demoed out 10 different songs. They're all coming together awesome. These are just like demos that will be eventually re-recorded. But we're hoping to get several songs in, and we're just gonna pick the top tier of those songs and see if we can put out a full length. That's all we've really been working on. We've been working pretty hard on it.
Yeah. We also did some cover singles just to kind of pass the time. We did
Forgot the
Baseborn song, which is a local band from the valley here, which is like the very tip of Texas. And then we did gosh, what was the second one?
Beatnik Termites.
Yeah. And then the last one we just put out was an Ergs cover. So all those are free. We just did them all DIY and just put them out there. So you can check those out.
Roger, I'd like to know a little bit about how you perceive your music.
I'm just a bass player. No. I don't know. It's hard to explain it, I guess. It's just something that it came together, and that's how it ended up coming out. And I really wouldn't know what to say about that one. I don't know.
Well, where can people find you guys online? I I know you primarily have vinyl, but you have stuff on Bandcamp as well. You're on Facebook. Where can people find you?
We're on Spotify, iTunes, most streaming platforms. They can find pretty much everything we've done out there on there.
And we got Facebook. We have an Instagram. I think that's it, right? Is that
YouTube topic channel.
You guys have some videos?
We have one video that our friend Eric did for us. It's really cool. It's off our first 7-inch Probe 7. That's like, and other than that, just the kind of topic songs, you know, from the records and stuff. But that's definitely a cool video. It was fun to shoot.
Awesome. So have you guys gone out and gone on tour? And if so, who are some of the memorable bands you've played with?
We haven't gone on. Well, we've played some out of town shows. We've gone kind of around South Texas, you know, to Austin and San Antonio. But kind of being in Corpus, we're kind of in a kind of lucky situation that we're not like a huge market. Like there's a amount of people here, but we'll get some like decent shows that do come through here. So I feel like we're really lucky that we're able to kind of jump on some of these. We got to play with Swinging Utters. We had one of our, I think our second or third show was with the Toasters, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Like I like both of those bands. Like I was just happy to go see, let alone to play with. We played with the Queers.
The Queers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's been quite a few. We were actually before COVID, we were slated to open up for Face to Face here in Corpus.
The Ataris.
Oh, and then we had another show with the Ataris, and we had another show with TSOL.
Yeah.
So those all got canceled.
Oh man. So 2020 would have been a big year for you guys.
Definitely.
Oh man.
Would have been a fun year. For sure.
Well, that's a shame, but hopefully things are going to pick up summer of this year. I'm pulling for all the musicians who have kind of struggled over this last year, and I didn't think we'd be here still at this time. But I want people to get to know you guys in a way that I don't know. You have like a very positive sounding music, but I'd like you to describe the message that you send.
I would say, I mean, for us, it's weird, especially. I guess I can only speak to really like my songs, I guess, but we definitely have like kind of this overlaying kind of sci-fi like sort of vibe thing, but like a lot of my songs, even though it uses a lot of like sci-fi imagery and like monsters and things like that, a lot of songs about like anxiety, a lot of songs about being socially awkward, stuff that we all deal with at some point in time. But kind of a fun way to look at it. Like I don't want to be like a downer. Like I feel like I think I've never really been. I mean, I guess there's always exceptions, but I tend to kind of gravitate to more kind of positive music like myself. I feel like there's a lot of negativity in the world already. But I think there is a place for like downer music. I've definitely have partaken in downer music. But no, I think that the positivity comes from like the fact that I think everybody in the band really like loves music, just in general loves playing music. I feel like we're all kind of on the same level as far as we want to make something good, but none of us are looking to make a career out of this. We're looking to do the best, make the best music that we can and have fun doing it. And being able to play with like swinging utters and toasters is like,
Yeah.
that's payment. I feel like.
Yeah, icing on the cake, kind of just.
So when is the last time you guys were able to get together and kind of work on something?
We've been working on stuff recently. We when the pandemic started, I don't think we all got together for several months. It was until like what, September, I think, is when we, for September or maybe October.
It was like
Uh,
summer, something like that.
yeah, we started kind of getting back together, and then that's when we started doing. We started working on this full length, writing songs, and it's kind of meet. We try to meet at least once a week or so to kind of hash through it. But yeah, we've just been kind of learning new songs, sharing ideas. We recorded those 10 songs just kind of live, and now we're kind of tweaking what we want to do with them for the actual recording of it. So listening to ourselves and figuring out that, yeah, definitely we should do that, and I should definitely not do that. But yeah, it's since, I guess, probably like, yeah, November-ish, I think we've been getting together, trying to get together at least once a week.
Can we expect any curveballs or any new sounds that you might be working on in comparison to what you guys have done in the past? Some unexplored territory.
I feel like we've expanded. I feel like we're still kind of in the same kind of punk vein, but I definitely think we're trying some new stuff, I guess, kind of expanding it a little bit. Weird, time. I don't know if we have weird time signatures, but just weird placements of hits, and just trying to kind of expand, make it interesting. I don't know. Skylar probably can.
I'll say this. At the risk of sounding pretentious, we do have a song that's near progressive. It's almost 3 minutes in length. So, I mean, that's a step up for us. Yeah, I think we might even have a key change coming your way, so.
Oh.
Curveball there, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, big things.
I think the new songs are more musical as well. I feel like a lot of the old stuff was just like me just, us going full on. I feel like this one has a little bit more musicality to it. But yeah, it's. I feel like they've been. I think it's been the best stuff we've done so far. I think
It's like Oldie Hawn, but not at the same time. It's going to be the same thing, but it's not the same thing.
Like I said, almost 3 minutes. Almost.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We pushed the limit there, 2:59.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least, we're trying to sound better. Different.
So I'm going to wrap things up, but I'd like to give you the chance to maybe say something, announce something, maybe end with a thought that people who want to get to know Oldie Hawn.
Oldie Hawn.
That's what I wanted to mention. Oldie Hawn. Why did you choose that name?
That was probably that was my wife. When we first started dating, she's several years younger than me, so she likes to rub it in my face that I'm older than she is. So when we first started dating, she would call me Oldie Hawn, and so always making fun of me, I guess. But so like I started making these little demos, and I would I'd label it Oldie Hawn, thinking that one day I would be able to have a band called Oldie Hawn and have everybody in place. And it took a while. Like I had those demos for a while and just waiting for the right moment with the right people. It came from that, and we found out later that apparently it was also on a episode of The Simpsons, which is also cool. So the comic book guy calls somebody Oldie Hawn. So
also fun fact, Kai has an unwritten rule. He's only in bands that have someone's name in them. He will only be in a band if it has someone's
Sure.
name in it.
Unintentional, but true.
So you guys
Whoa,
want to
Sam.
wait? What are the band's names?
I don't know, Kai. What is Whoa, Sam, right?
Whoa Sam, the Johnny Five, Joe Jitsu, Oldie Hawn now. I think that's it. That's 4. Kind of a lot.
Are all these bands going on at one time?
No. Whoa Sam was a band I was in back in right out of high school, I think. Me and Skylar used to play. Skylar used to play in a band called the Nostalgics, and Whoa Sam and the Nostalgics played several shows together back when 20 years ago, 21 years ago, back here in Corpus, playing skate parks and things like that. But yeah, then but I was in Joe Jitsu. I moved to Beaumont, and I was in a band called Joe Jitsu for a while. They're now in a band, Brake Lights, which is another band that has a release on Otitis Media as well. They have a 7-inch out. I forgot about that.
I
But
love
Brake
those
Lights.
guys. I love them. Who sings in that band? They're really good.
Charmin Charlie.
He's got a
he sang for Joe Jitsu as well.
He's got a great voice.
He does.
So that's cool that you guys have a connection there. Are a lot of bands in Corpus Christi kind of like switch members? A lot of punk rock bands tend to switch members. They're kind of interchangeable. Is that how you guys got together doing that?
Kind of, actually. Me, Roger, and Skylar were in a band called Spanish Reds before Oldie Hawn came about. And they were a band before I joined, and then I joined, and then unjoined. And then eventually Spanish Reds kind of was kind of teetering, and then perfect opportunity to start Oldie Hawn.
Cool. So is there anything you want to promote or talk about before we sign off?
I would say promoting. I mean, I think I would Otitis Media Records. I think all the whole roster. I think Noah is doing a great service putting out these bands. Like, he is the least, like, I mean, he's business, but as far as like that pressure that you hear about from other labels and things like that, he's totally about just putting out the music. And I think supporting his label, of course, it'd be really nice if he bought an Oldie Hawn record too. But any of his stuff, I highly recommend. But yeah, keep an eye out. We're gonna have new stuff coming out, hopefully in the near future. So yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys very much for your time, and I appreciate you all getting together at one time. I know sometimes it's hard to coordinate to get everybody together, and I'm glad to have met you. And I can't wait to hear new music. I really dig the 2 7-inches I've heard so far.
Awesome. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. This is it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
No problem, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Go Chiefs.
Oh yes, Chiefs. Yes.
Sorry for being socially awkward.
All right. Thanks.
Adios.